Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be going over the Shocker Synergies that are coming with the new champion Shocker in next month's update. And we're going to go through and just see if these are going to be game changing for anyone or if they're going to have any effect whatsoever. So let's go through each one and talk about it. So the first one is just for Shocker. Don't mock the Shocker. It's literally just for him. When he's paired up with Punisher or Classic Spider-Man. But basically when he's at 50 plus vibro charges, the defenders will have 50% more likely chance to activate special attacks. Obviously we can't really know how useful this is going to be without actually having the champion. So it's kind of hard to tell. So, I mean, I'm sure it'll be useful, but we can just move on to the next one. Next synergy is called No Safe is Safe with Ant-Man and Black Cat. And now with Ant-Man, the final hit of the special 1 gains 5% attack rating for each debuff on the opponent. So this one in theory sounds really good for Ant-Man, who in my opinion still needs a little bit more of a buff. But it's a nice buff to his special 1. It just depends how many of those debuffs you can realistically get on the opponent before throwing a special 1. I don't use Ant-Man that often, so if there's any Ant-Man mains out there, please let me know if you think this is going to be useful or just a little overrated. It sounds really good, but I'm just not sure how useful that's going to be. Black Cat, though, attacks that steal the calling card are guaranteed critical hits. This one looks really useful. I haven't used Black Cat very often, but if you're a Black Cat player, let me know how often calling cards are being stolen and if this is actually going to be like a huge boost to her attack power. Meanwhile, Shocker, while he's unblockable, he'll gain 25% attack rating. And he gets unblockable quite often, it looks like, from the gameplay. So this synergy is all around a pretty good synergy, in my opinion, for everyone involved. Now, one of the benefits of new Spider-Man champions coming out is there's always new synergies for Stark Enhanced Spider-Man, which is my favorite character. And this next one definitely gives him a buff, a small boost. Homecoming Crasher, obviously with Vulture, Spider-Man, and an unannounced champion. And going off the theme, I'm not sure who that could be. Homecoming, if you think of the movie Spider-Man Homecoming, there's only like a couple characters in there that would legitimately be options for this mystery character. I'm not really sure because we have Scorpion. He was at the end credit scenes, but we have him. We have Vulture. We already have a Green Goblin. He wasn't in Homecoming, but I'm just saying. Dark Knight Spider-Man is obviously here, so I'm not really sure who this could be. Probably a character that will be revealed in the newest Spider-Man movie, I imagine, who maybe just hasn't been revealed yet and is one of the characters. But anyways, moving on. This synergy gives each synergy member a different effect. So synergy champions on this list will have their medium attacks inflict a damage over time debuff, dealing 20% of their attack over 2 seconds, and the type is different for each character. Shocker gets shock debuffs. That's not really too surprising. Spider-Man Stark Enhanced will gain rupture debuffs, and Vulture will gain 10% disintegration debuffs. And Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, his attack power can get quite high if he's at max stacks of his charges. So those rupture debuffs doing 20% of his attack over 2 seconds with each medium is actually, I think, going to be pretty useful. Shocker, that's just a nice boost. And Vulture, I'm not sure we got any Vulture mains in the chat, because I'm not sure who's using him for this. But you know, if you want to get those, if you're using Shocker and you don't have Stark Enhanced Spider-Man and you have Vulture, you can throw them on and give Shocker some shock debuffs. So this one's all right. Now, the final synergy showcased here is the You Can't Escape Me with Shocker and Symbiote Spider-Man. Shocker will inflict a 50% cowardice debuff on the opponent after a special attack for 10 seconds. But the one that kind of raises everyone's eyebrows is the Spider-Man Symbiote synergy. Activating a special attack grants a True Strike buff for 10 seconds. And this sounds very good on paper because it's some utility he doesn't have yet, but looking at 10 seconds, how long is that really gonna helpful? Here they showcase it against the Overseer, but it's an Overseer who doesn't have his auto block enabled, but I think it's just a show. Like, obviously you can use it to bypass that when you're just launching, but again, 10 seconds, I mean, I guess that's okay amount of time, but I'm not too sure how useful that's gonna be. It's gonna be a nice little quality of life thing, but it's not gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be broken. So all around, I think that Shocker's synergies are okay. There's nothing too game breaking here, nothing that makes any champion just insane or gives him like 100% damage boost or anything. So I'd rate his synergies like okay out of 10. You know what I mean? There's nothing here that's like, oh my gosh, you gotta get Shocker for this synergy. You know what I mean? So let me know if I missed anything or if you have any synergy ideas or teams down below that I may have not thought of. And if you've watched the full breakdown, let me know if you're excited for Shocker or not. I know I am because he was in my one of my favorite video games when I was a kid. I think it was Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation or PlayStation 2 or something. And I just remember Shocker being in that game and fighting him in the sewer or wherever that was. So I'm pretty excited either way for Shocker to come. So that's it for this episode. Y'all take care.